okay, why would you even go to a monastery to learn from a teacher? If your point of view is already valid, then that
Exactly.
person can give
That's
you
what I'm
nothing.
saying. That's what I'm
So
saying. If
you
you
could,
arrived at that spot yourself where you realize that that's just the fact,
but okay,
I think I am the ultimate
okay, okay,
authority
hear me out.
on
But
this thing.
so does Trump. Trump right now think he is the
And he
ultimate,
is the president of the United States. So
right?
what are you going to say against that? He said and he is. Isn't that magic?
But is that the way? I mean, I guess what I'm trying to get
You
at
could just be
is,
what you are without any kind of judgment about it, I guess.
but
Essentially, you
but
forget
okay,
about that part. You
but
just be.
I know, but I could also be Adolf Hitler, right? I could want to, I
And
want to
he
eliminate
was.
all these
And
people,
he
right?
was, and nobody was able to prevent him. Whatever is going to be is going to be. What are you going to do about it? You think you have influence on what's going to be? You don't know what it's going to be.
So you are essentially saying that if I
What are you
want to be,
influencing? What do you think you're in control of in
wait,
what's going to be?
no, you don't have, you don't, you have,
So forget about it. There's no one, just let go.
and okay, and
And that's it. And everything simplifies immediately. You literally just don't have problems that much anymore.
so I'm just trying to get at the fundamental of what you're saying here. So yes, you're saying you can be whatever you like. You can do however you feel like, right? That's
Yeah.
the gist of it.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. So if I decided that I am
See, you don't decide. You just be. You forego a lot of this mental process. You forego the ego who is trying to weave some specific story because it has no idea what it's talking about.
right,
You just be whatever is manifesting through you.
if I this is interesting. I like this because now we're
Yeah.
finally come to a
It's
point where we
trippy.
actually start disagreeing because it's like, okay, that's an interesting perspective because to me, this is what the discussion gets interesting because obviously we agree
It's
on a
too
lot of
loud,
things,
eh?
but this, I don't know. This part is kind of the first where I start thinking, interesting. I mean, okay, so let me just think about this. So, okay. But I guess my question is, or how, when I think about this, I keep coming from maybe this is what you call that, maybe I'm also coming from the utilitarian perspective where
Okay.
I do
Yeah,
see
that's
the
another perspective.
I do see the value of ego. Like I'm not saying I just see the value of it, right? I'm not saying it's completely good or bad. It's
But value
certainly
to whom?
to the creature who actually has this thing called ego, or the
So
individual,
is it the
the
creature that
person.
has the ego or the ego creates the creature?
Maybe that.
It's
Yeah.
just an idea. You just have an idea that there's some kind of permanent you that you need to be taken care of. That's not the case. It's just an informational process that's unfolding through you, and you're consuming information and
Mm-hmm.
acting on it. But it's like all like groove on a vinyl, It's already there. So you're just playing the spectacle, essentially. There's a
Okay.
there's a script. You could even see it that way. And if you just give into it, you're like, yeah, it's a very different way of looking at life. But that's not just an example. That's another perspective. You can just select any of these perspectives and live in it, and it's up to you to choose one. Nobody is going to stop you. How are they going to stop you if you decide that reality this way? Yeah, people will consider you crazy, but what are you going to do about it? There are no mental institutions anymore around here. You can just be crazy any way you want. But you choose what you want and how you're going to see the world. You can pick a perspective that you think
But
that's the right one.
okay, but
Nobody's able to convince you that it's otherwise.
well, you're still saying choose. But then just before you're saying don't choose. There's no choice.
That's the paradox. Is that you do, like, you mentioned it yourself in the last episode, that even not choosing is a choice. I'm saying make that choice. Make the only choice that you can.
I guess I'm
It's
just
it's a
not
trip.
seeing. It is, but yeah, I guess I'm not seeing the,
Utility.
or maybe I'm just dumb, but I couldn't figure out what's the instruction, right? Maybe I mean there is no instruction, obviously. So I guess I couldn't process that information because it's like, okay, what am I going to do with that information, right? Okay, yes, ego is all made up. It's just kind of this.
It's
thing
supposed
being
to point you to the fact that you are kind of in charge of your reality ultimately.